Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back to more Minecraft. Why are my leaves a full block? What's going on here? Graphics fancy, there we go, much better. Last time when we left off, we moved for the third time in this series, but it's the last move for a good while. We found this really nice area here. We decided to set up shop up here at this mountain. And there's all sorts of like valleys down there that I want to populate with like little houses. I basically want to make a medieval style village. Very creative, I know. But it's gonna be like my first long-term project that I've ever done, and at least on camera in this game. So I'm quite excited for that. But the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm going to clear out this mountain here. I'm gonna get a lot of dirt in the process. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with it. And build the castle, or at least start building the castle. I'm only going to be playing for 2 hours as always, so I highly doubt I'll be able to build and finish the castle this stream, but yeah, let's get to it. I'm going to start with this mound over here, because I still have some furnaces smelting stuff from last time, mostly iron. So let's start clearing all this out. This is probably going to take the first hour or so. Hello, Neon Light and Steelcat, welcome back to the stream. Yes, my man, we're gaming! It's gamer time, let's go! Epic gaming. This is so epic. You wouldn't believe how epic this is. I'm also really happy that I finally have diamond tools, holy crap. This feels so nice. And they're not the crappy in-depth diamond tools either. I mean, they're still kind of crappy because they only have 512 durability. Which is half of what they will have in the future, but... it's still better than 256. Like, the in-dev diamond tools are freaking pathetic. I hate them. Dirt mine gaming. Hell yeah. Preach, brother, preach. Where's the moon? It's going down. Okay, hopefully it goes down so that you can actually see what I'm doing. Because I don't feel like placing torches all around here, because they're gonna pop off anyway, because I'm clearing this out layer by layer. I'm gonna need a crap ton of chests by the end of all this. So yeah, I haven't actually fully decided on the name for the castle yet. The first thing that came to mind is Castle Volkihar, which is from Skyrim. I don't even remember which castle that was. I think it was actually the vampire castle from that game. From the Vampire Quest line. The Dawnguards, yeah, the Dawnguard DLC. Which is honestly one of the better quest lines in the game. I quite like it. But if you guys have a better name suggestion for this castle, do let me know, and I am willing to change it. This is just like a very impromptu thing. I honestly almost forgot that I was streaming tonight. Which is why I started like a minute later. Like literally it was 6:56, like 4 minutes before my stream was supposed to start, and I just remembered, oh, alright, I'm doing a stream tonight. It's Saturday. So I had to like quickly like go to the bathroom, get enough water, and like start the stream. I have to transfer my world, which is getting quite big actually. It took quite a while to transfer it. I think it's already almost at 100 megabytes. So considering that this is gonna be a forever world, this thing is gonna probably be even bigger than my poly world was by the time that I'm not even done, because this is my forever world. This will keep going forever, but by the time I reach modern, it's probably gonna be like several gigabytes. I don't remember how big the polyworld was. I think it was like 3 gigabytes, maybe 5 at most. But more realistically, probably like 3. Name it Castle Plus. That's a boring name. I want something like... I kind of low-key want to have like lore, or at least implied lore in this world. Because I feel like that's the only thing that's gonna help me like actually build all this stuff. If I have like some sort of lore behind it and justification for it to exist, otherwise it feels like a waste of time to me. Like, I'm not a builder at all. Begs the question why I'm even doing this to begin with. Because old Minecraft is mostly like... It's the closest form to a pure sandbox, other than creative mode, of course, that you can have. Because the only objective, other than getting diamonds, I guess, but even that is like technically optional. We can just play the entire game with just stone or iron tools, if you want to be miserable. But other than getting diamonds, like the only real objective in the game, especially in these early Infinite versions that don't even have like dungeons that you can find or anything, is to just build. And as most of you, at least the regular viewers, already know, I am not fond of building at all. Mostly because I suck, and I also just find it not very engaging. I just like, I don't know. It feels like a waste of time to me. Because yeah, you can build all this cool stuff, but if it doesn't look cool, which is basically all of my builds, then what's the point? Guess I should compare myself less to others, because I have seen a lot of like really impressive builds online. On Reddit and stuff, and I'm like, man, I wish I could build like that. Also, my shovel already broke, wow. Now, I really hope that I won't like end up wasting all of my diamonds on diamond tools just for, while doing this. That would be honestly a tragedy. Okay, I think that's everything from here. I'm also gonna pick up the furnaces as well. Don't forget to take out the coal before I break them, because this version still has that annoying bug where if you break a furnace, it doesn't drop its contents. I forget when that gets fixed. Because I want to move these down to a lower level, because all of this will be flattened out as well. I think I'll only keep the chests up here, like, floating, because I already have a lot of crap in them. Put the goat here. Put the coal below that. And here... I'm definitely gonna need another few chests, actually, down for the lower level. I guess I'll keep the flowers there. Let's make another double chest. Oh, I keep shift clicking by instinct. Keep forgetting that this is not InfDev Plus. Even though my InDev Plus playthrough ended like over a month ago by this point, holy crap. My 100% in-depth, like, personal playthrough, in-depth plus. I still am, like, used to having shift-clicking. Because this is the only Minecraft that I play right now. This is literally the only form of Minecraft. This series here on YouTube. I guess I'll put it here. Oh, right, I also wanted to make another shovel. I still can't see my arm, which is kind of annoying. So in this stream, by the way, we're going to cover two versions. We're currently on 617-1, and I'm also going to play 617-2, because I don't think there's like any difference between the two. There's just like some bug fixes. If anything, I should have covered all three of these last time, but whatever. And then next week, we're gonna be at 618, and I'm gonna take a break from building the castle for a bit, because that version introduces minecarts, as some of you might already know. So I want to play around with those. I want to make like a little mineshaft sort of thing. Every time there's gonna be like new content, I'm gonna try to do something with it. And that's also the first Secret Friday update, which is awesome. I was almost considering like acting as if I don't know what it's gonna be, but this is not that type of show. Today's InDev Plus update was too funny, yes. It literally happened to Steelcat. So he was streaming and suddenly he started getting lag. And I was a bit concerned. I was like, what the hell is going on? And then I remembered, he's in winter. The fog level was free, meaning it was like the closest it can get. And I remembered, oh, I added Herobrine like literally over 2 years ago. Could it be that? Like, I really hoped that it wouldn't be that, but it turns out that it is. Now, here's the kicker. I don't know why it's like this, because I tested this many times. Other people have also seen Herobrine, and they have, like, nobody has really reported any lag. But I'm starting to think that the few people who have reported lag, maybe it was because of that. But it seems like random. Like, that's the thing. Like, it doesn't always cause the lag, so instead of just trying to deal with it, I was like, oh, I don't want to deal with this anymore, so I just removed it entirely. I might bring it back in, like, the far future and, like, figure out a better way to do it. I still have, like, the commit, so I have easy access to the code. Thank God for Git. So I can easily bring it back and, like, rewrite it, but I just don't have the time or desire to at this moment. Because my primary focus is doing the InfDev Plus cleanup. Like, that needs to happen ASAP. Especially fixing the performance, so... InDev Plus is no longer a priority, and it won't be for a very long while. That's why I, like, sunsetted it. Obvious Friday update. You're buying a sentient, duh. Yes. The mod itself is sentient. We already know this. InfDev Plus is not. InfDev Plus is just an amalgamation of terrible code and me being an idiot. But InDev Plus has all these weird issues, and not to mention Classic Plus. But we don't talk about Classic Plus on this channel. Classic Plus, what's that? Never heard of it. This is actually good. I'm getting quite a few cobblestone from this. Quite a lot of cobblestone, I should say. That's plural. Exactly, Neon Light. Exactly. This is gonna be a very boring stream, because I don't really have much to talk about. Other than the usual, doom and gloom. Capitalism, life sucks. All that stuff. And all I'm gonna be doing is just digging, so... Part of me thinks that maybe I should have done this off camera, maybe, but... I don't really have the time, honestly, to just play this off camera. I'm kind of like Steelcat in that regard. Because during the weekdays, I'm focusing on the cleanup in the 2 or 3 hours of free time that I have after work. And then the weekends, I also mostly focus on the cleanup. Sometimes I have other stuff going on. I like help with the cleaning, shopping, all that stuff. Like, there's a lot going on, even during weekends. So this is my only time when I can actually sit down and play this. Because this, like, having a forever world in this game requires, like, a lot of time commitment that I just simply do not have. Like, playing daily or, like, playing off camera and all that stuff. Like, I couldn't even just sit around and wait for the iron to smelt. I decided to leave that for... Because I knew that I was going to be doing this anyway, so I decided to leave it for the stream. So I hope this isn't too boring for you all. I can finally catch the stream. Holy crap. Hello, IDAC. Welcome back. Damn, that looks tall. Good view. Yes, this is my permanent area, quote-unquote permanent. It's my permanent area until Alpha 1.2. And I have a big plan. So you see this valley down here? I'm gonna build a village, a medieval-style village in this valley, like a lot of houses. I'm gonna have like a baker, a blacksmith, a farm, like a whole bunch of stuff down there. And up here... What I'm doing right now is I'm preparing the land for a castle. Now, the reason why I'm flattening all this out is because this literally goes up to the height limit. Like, all of those hills there, all of that goes up to the height limit. That's just a quirk of this version. So, I have to, like, flatten it out quite a bit if I want to build anything up here. So, that's the focus of this stream. It's just going to be a whole lot of digging. So buckle in, because this is all you're gonna see this entire stream. Good idea. Waiting until 1.2 to get the new height limit. We're gonna be waiting a while, IDAC, because I'm updating 1 to 2 versions per week. I used to do that per day, and even that, like, back in the Poliwhirl days, I used to update pretty much daily, and even that, like, took me an entire year to just get to release 1.0. So this is gonna take double, maybe even triple that. Like, I'm gonna be in InfDev until the end of the year, and I started, like, over a month ago. So yeah, we're in for the long haul here. But this is definitely the last time I'm gonna be playing all these old versions. Like, that's the whole purpose of me doing it this way. The only time I'm ever gonna replay these, either on camera or just in my personal time, is if Java Edition, like, if Mojang pulls a plug on Java Edition, basically, which was a topic of one of the earlier streams. I think it's pretty much inevitable. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when that's gonna happen. So once that happens, I am going to do it one last time, like an Evo playthrough, Evolution playthrough. Maybe not immediately after it happens, but definitely at some point. Just because there's gonna be like a final version of Java Edition, you know, so it's gonna make sense. Because I'm never touching Bedrock, not even with the 10-foot pole. When Java Edition dies, when they cancel, like, Java Edition, stop working on it, that's it. Minecraft is basically over for me. The only Minecraft I'm gonna play is modded from that point forward, moving forward. So, until then, this is the last time I'm gonna be playing all of these old versions. If I ever feel like playing, like, with InfDev terrain or in-dev terrain or all that stuff, like and with the old gameplay, I'm just gonna stick to my mods. So InDev Plus is gonna be my go-to InDev experience, and InfDev Plus my go-to, not just InfDev experience, but also InfDev experience. Wait until 1.18. If that happens, it will be so over for Minecraft content. That is true, yeah. I mean, with all the hype around Hytale and the way that they're treating the community and all that stuff, and like the obfuscation mappings being available now, and like all signs point to Java being killed off. Because when Microsoft said that they want to make Minecraft a 100-year-old game, they never like really specified which version. So I think what they want to do is they want to just completely ditch Java Edition, because like think about it from a business perspective, right? They barely get any money from Java Edition, especially now that if you buy the game, you get both Java and Bedrock simultaneously. So it's not like, oh, you can just buy both versions separately. No, like they're making almost no money anymore from Java Edition, whereas Bedrock Edition has the marketplace and it's their main source of revenue. Because little Timmy wants the fucking Fortnite skin or whatever the fuck is going on there. I don't even know. So there's like no reason to keep Java around, because it's just like putting resources into development, like paying all the devs off and all that stuff, and just managing like 2 versions simultaneously. Like it's bad enough to manage Bedrock, you know, which is on so many different platforms, but then you also have to take Java into consideration as well. It's just like business-wise, there's no point in keeping Java around any longer. So makes perfect sense why they would want to just pull the plug on it. Don't get me wrong, it would suck, but I just think that it makes perfect sense. So I wouldn't put it past them. Like, I mean, this is Microsoft we're talking about. They killed off Skype. They basically kill off anything they buy. They get their crummy little hands on. I guess big hands in this case, because they're like the biggest corporation in the world, I think. Is it Microsoft or is it Apple? I think Apple is the richest, like with the highest amount of revenue, but the one that's like the most influential, that has the most user base and stuff, I'm pretty sure is Microsoft. With Google being a close second. I haven't looked into that sort of stuff as of late, because quite frankly, it makes me depressed, knowing that everything, like literally everything in the entire world just runs, is like controlled by a single fucking company. Let's go this, I'm just gonna use my arrows here, there's too many skeletons. This is about the most excitement we're gonna get from this stream. Wow, look at all these arrows, holy crap. Let me catch up with the chat. Despite Java having less sales, it provides the most relevancy to the game. Yeah, that is true, yeah. But greed is blinding, you know? Like, the higher-ups at Microsoft definitely don't realize that. Or even if they do, they probably don't care. They probably think it's gonna be fine. Like, oh, it's Minecraft, like, it's not gonna die. But Hytale is around the corner. Like, even if they don't cancel Java Edition, Hytale just straight up might kill the game anyway. At least I'm hoping that it will. And if that happens, they definitely won't have any excuses to keep Java around. And not to mention that Java isn't even Java isn't like that popular anymore, because with all these like crappy little content drops, like driblets of content, people are just quitting the game. They're just moving on to either just playing modded, because they can't be bothered to update their game every time and all their mods, just because Mojang added like 2 new things that hardly anyone is gonna use. Probably exaggerating, but like things that a lot of people won't use. So people just either quit the game entirely, those that don't care about modded, but they still find the updates lackluster, or they just stick to older versions and mod it. And by older versions, I literally mean like previous patches, not like 1.12 or 1.7 or beta 1.7 or whatever. So yeah, like it almost feels like they're doing it on purpose. Putting on my tinfoil hat here, but that's how I feel. Probably get even more publicity from this continuation. It will be a very short-lived publicity, though. Like, it's gonna get publicity for like a week at most, and then people are gonna realize, oh, Bedrock sucks. I don't want to play this anymore. So it will kill the game. Either slowly or swiftly, doesn't matter, it will definitely kill the game. Actually, in continuation projects anyway, yeah. Like, modders are definitely gonna pick up the game if... No, not if, when Java Edition is done for. And they're just gonna add everything that Bedrock adds to Java anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Java being free would be insane, but that would never happen, honestly, because the game has like so much content in it that if it does become free, it's definitely gonna be like 20-30 years after Java Edition ends, like officially. It definitely won't be like immediately. Kind of like Classic, you know? Or like the older versions, like all the versions up to release 1.0 are basically free in the launcher now. Because they're like over a decade old. So they're very limited. Like, that's like, you're missing over a decade's worth of content, so it doesn't really benefit Microsoft or Mojang from selling the game to people who just want to play those old versions anyway. Because most people, like, take it at face value. Like so many people preach about these old versions being better, but the masses, like the majority of people, find them terrible. Not only because they lack of quality of life features, but also because there's like so little to do in them. As I already said, all you can really do is build. And even then, your building palette is so limited the further back you go. Like in InfDev here, all I can build with is stone and wood. That's it. I guess you could argue you could build with like dirt or sand or gravel, but it's kind of niche. Doesn't look as good. There aren't even any stairs yet. But that's besides the point. I'm derailing again. Not just mappings they gave. Oh, well, that's gone. Java being free would be wired, but cheaper could honestly benefit them more. Yeah, like if they separate Java and make it cheaper, that would make sense, I think. think people have never been more anti-capitalism, anti-monopoly ever since the AI boom started dominating everything. Yeah. It is good, though. People are starting to realize and wake up, so that's good. Will you play Hytale? Probably not, because I don't really have the time. I literally know nothing about Hytale, by the way, for the record. I know more about Vintage Story than I do Hytale. Like, I've never seen a single video on Hytale. Hytale won't kill Minecraft, but it will bring some more variety to the scene. That's good, yeah. I guess kind of like Vintage Story. Like, people were convinced that Vintage Story would kill Minecraft forever, but it didn't. It is popular, don't get me wrong, and it is good. I do like Vintage Story. I have played it briefly. I couldn't fully get into it, but that's because I played like the quote-unquote intended experience. I know that you can modify it to be a bit simpler and closer to Minecraft. But still, like, most people prefer simplicity. That's why I think Vintage Story will never replace Minecraft and never, like... I wouldn't say kick off, but it just would never, like, compete that much with the base game of Minecraft. Because it's just... Minecraft is the most accessible, basically. Vintage Story is anything but accessible. You could argue all you want, oh, you can customize the experience. That's not the point of this. Because most people don't even bother to customize anything. Like, I've learned this because of InfDev Plus. So many people despise that mod for just adding so much stuff, even though it can turn the majority of the content off. But most people either don't know that, or they don't bother doing that. They just see it for face value. That's just how people work. And it's the same with Vintage Story as well. Even if you could turn it into as simplistic of an experience as Minecraft, most people still wouldn't care. They still wouldn't bother playing it that way. Honestly, don't get why people were hating the drops before. They were complaining that there's only one update per year, and now they're complaining that the updates are too small. Yeah, like, the community is toxic, not gonna lie. Like, they'll always find a way to complain. Or a reason to complain, rather. I personally wouldn't mind waiting more than a year, like 2 years or even 3 years, if the update I got had enough content and of high enough quality. Like, most of the stuff that Mojang add are cool, but they're like almost nothing buggers. They're like forgotten immediately the day after. And it doesn't help that Mojang kills the hype by announcing the next drop before the current one has even dropped. You know? So it kind of defeats the purpose of it. You see Java being cheaper or free in the far future if companies follow this trend. The additions in the drops so far were good. I'm not saying they were bad, I'm just saying that they were a bit lackluster. Hello, Kay. Welcome back to the stream. I was back way before I started doing this. I was streaming Thief. Speaking of which, expect Thief 2 to happen either by the end of this month, or by the end of the year, I guess, or next year. Like early next year, January. At the latest February, but most likely January. Because I'm almost done with my Thief 1 fan mission backlog. I literally only have one mission left. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of a break because I have been playing the game on a weekly basis, pretty much, because of the fan missions. And then I'm gonna be streaming it on here, the second game. So stay tuned for that, for those of you who care. Old versions can be fun if you like limiting yourself, but on the long run can get boring. Yeah. That is why IDIAC I'm doing this on a weekly basis, because I already tried doing this on like a daily basis several times, and I just ended up getting burnt out by it, because it was every day was the same thing, either just dig or build. So the fact that I'm doing this on a weekly basis definitely has helped so far. Because it helps keep things fresh in my mind. It would be nice if they just made Java properly free and open source once they discontinue it. I mean, the fact that they're, like, no longer obfuscating the code is a step in that direction, Neon Light, so that would be nice. Just that alone is huge for modding and making the game quote-unquote open source. Like, you can't just get the source directly still. You have to, like, download the game and decompile it yourself, but at least you no longer have to deal with the mapping nonsense that was in the past. Like, screw MCP, okay? Like, screw those mappings. They're terrible. I hate them. I had to deal with them for the past 3 years, actually, and I hate them so much. Like, don't get me wrong, it's better than nothing, but still. It's nice to finally have official mappings. Makes things a lot easier. Okay, let me make 2 more shovels. What am I doing? I need 2 diamonds. I'm gonna run out of diamonds before I've even started building my castle, it feels like. Jesus Christ. That's okay, because next time we're gonna go mining, because we're gonna mess around with minecarts anyway. Might as well. Hopefully we'll find more diamonds. I just like the game the way it is. Be better, but considering the standards of the gaming companies nowadays, Java is somehow a blessing. Yeah, it's still... Like, that is sad, though, that Java is, like, still doing so well compared to literally every other gaming company that releases, or at least AAA studio that releases the next, like, generation of slop, basically. That's only getting worse and worse. Like, have you seen Black Ops 7? Is it 7? I think it's 7. Like, Black Ops 7, like the latest Black Ops. It uses AI-generated, like, art. And in general, it just feels really awful to play. Like, the campaign is somehow a bigger nothing burger than the past few Call of Duty releases. Like, what the hell? How can you stoop so low? Call of Duty should have ended, in my opinion, with the original Black Ops, or at most Black Ops 2. Almost every single Call of Duty game after Black Ops 2 has been just a disappointment. A disappointment at best. I don't mind the jobs when you combine all of them. They are decent, but I just want the end and combat update. Yes, that's literally what everyone wants, IDIAC. Make Minecraft an assembly. Actually, I think I've seen people make, like, Classic an assembly. Or port it to assembly, anyway. Didn't Junkadelic do that? I know he's ported Classic to C++, and I think Base C. I know that PNP, a friend of mine, is porting Beta to C#. I'm not sure about assembly, though. Also, welcome, Yoski, to the stream. I'm surprised to see you here, because I know that you don't like this game. I love this bug, it's so funny. Just spam right-click as you dig. Playing daily is wild, too. I forget I can't even do it myself, yeah. I used to play daily, or almost daily, at least I had the weekends, quote-unquote, off, during the polyworld, and even that, like, ruined the experience for me. Yeah, I used to think that YouTubers are, like being a YouTuber is easy money. It's not. Like, you really need to have a lot of patience and... How do I say? What's the word I'm looking for? Self-discipline, I guess? To just keep doing the same thing on a daily basis. Like, you really have to enjoy it to be able to do it consistently. And even then, it can... Like, burnout can still happen. Black Ops 7 is so goated. I hope that's a joke, IDIAC. Black Ops 67. I'm going to ban you from chat if you say that again, Neon Light. To say how trash companies are nowadays, this is why I just stick with indie games. Yeah, indie games are the future, even though they're not like Saints either. There's plenty of, you know, hiccups and stuff in the indie scene as well. But that's definitely where you're gonna find the majority of the good content nowadays. I don't hate it, but it was ruined for me when I lost my seed. Can't tell if that's supposed to be some sort of a joke I don't get, or literally, if you mean world, if you like lost your original world file or something. That happened to me. I really wish I had that. Like my very first beta world when I was a kid. I do remember it though. I can probably recreate it, although not fully because I didn't know the seed. But I can probably recreate all the builds in it. They were relatively simple builds. I literally built a hotel where every single floor was made out of a one of the ore blocks. So like the first floor was stone, or I think wood. The second floor was stone, the third floor was iron, the fourth was gold, and diamond was like the penthouse floor. Of course, it was just a freaking cube. All of them were the same. Like, look the same, like internally as well, like with the interior decorations and stuff. It was terrible, but I loved it. I also built a bunch of like random, really basic houses, and I also had a block museum. Yes, Baby Method had a block museum even back then. It's crazy. God, look at all this dirt. What am I gonna do with all this? Half an hour, like over half an hour has passed already, and I'm still not even done with the first mountain. Yeah, I think we're literally gonna be doing this all stream. We're not even gonna start building the castle yet. I'm probably gonna stop naming these streams pretty soon because like the current name does not reflect what I'm doing at all. Both. What is my favorite ore block? I meant like yeah, I just realized that sounded so stupid. But I meant like materials that you make tools out of. Like the different tiers. Wood, stone, iron, gold, and diamond, you know? Hello, Pavflix Shortcake. Welcome to the stream. Yes, I'm clearing out a freaking mountain. Pig. Haha, no. Actually, what am I doing? I need to kill these guys. I need food. Excellent. Okay, that guy can live. Can't be bothered. I should store the food away though, because I don't really need it. I only occasionally get ambushed by baddies up here, so I think just keeping one bowl of soup is gonna be enough. Oh, I have my buckets here. Forgot about that. Put the coal in, or cobble. I should also make a diamond sword. Let me do that before I run out of diamonds. But I do want to use up the iron sword first, so I will. Actually, no, I'll keep the iron sword here as a backup. In case something catastrophic happens, like me falling off like an idiot. I'm playing Minecraft, but I don't have a decent system right now to enjoy the stable frame rate. I don't know if I can run it on a Steam Deck if I get one. You can. I tried Minecraft on a Steam Deck. The old versions don't really work because they don't really have controller support, but newer versions ran perfectly fine. So we can definitely run it on a Steam Deck. You can even run my mods on a Steam Deck, although they perform pretty much the same as they do on a regular PC. Especially like IfDev Plus. The chunk stutter bug is part of the a problem with the code, not really with the hardware that you have. Hello Redbot, welcome back to the stream. Can't believe it's December already. It feels like Halloween was only 2 weeks ago, but it's actually been a month. Almost a month. Technically, actually, almost a month, but you get the idea. Oh, how many layers do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, God, too many. That's the answer. Too many layers. I do have a idea, though. I do have a vision of how I want the castle to look. It's gonna have some really cool towers and stuff. I'm gonna try to make it look good for once. Because usually whenever I build a castle, I build like the same exact simple basic design. But this time I'm gonna try to actually make it look pretty. I just hope it won't take the entirety of InfDev to build this castle, but by the looks of things it might. So I did my calculations, and we're literally going to play the first alpha version during the first week of the next year. Because today I'm playing the 6.17 versions, both of them. Next time I'm playing 6.18. Then I'm playing 6.25, both versions. I'm gonna skip 6.24 because it's trash. Like, literally, there's no point in even playing it because of the experimental new word format that only lasted a version. Great job, Notch. And then 6.27 and 6.29, I'm planning to play both of them on the same day because, if I recall correctly, they're nearly identical. 6.29 does add stairs, but that's a relatively minor addition in the grand scheme of things. And then 6.30, both of them, I'll play those during the last week of the year. So I think the timing on that is perfect. I was considering, like, splitting the 6.25 versions, like not playing them on the same stream, but because the second one actually adds the dungeons. So it would feel a little bit odd if I just update midstream to the version that adds dungeons and then go looking for a dungeon midstream, but whatever. I kind of want to do it this way because I want to move on to alpha, and it would be neat if we reach alpha in exactly 2026. And I'm gonna be spending at least 20 weeks in alpha, which is almost like the full year, I think. Maybe even over a year, honestly. Because that's how many versions there are in alpha. So I really am here for the long haul. I think if the plus breaks for me when I use Prism. Using MultiMC and it hasn't crashed yet. I don't know if the launcher matters. It could just be something to do with your launcher settings. Like, make sure you allocate at least 3 GB of RAM, because there's a memory leak right now that I am trying to figure out the cause of. I know vaguely what the cause is. It's the stupid axis-aligned bounding box bullcrap. For some reason, it's eating up way too much memory, a lot more than it should. But I don't know why. Like, that's the thing. I don't know the reason why it's behaving like this. Like, literally sentient mod is all I can say. Because all the usage pretty much more or less matches the vanilla usage. So I'm hoping that as I'm doing the cleanup, I'll find something suspicious in one of the entity classes, maybe. But yeah, if I don't find anything during the cleanup, then I'm definitely gonna take a closer look and try to figure it out after that's done. It's secretly mining crypto. No. Maybe you can pick a book or something and name the streams after words from the book in sequence. That's an interesting idea. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna ditch the stream names entirely. Or maybe not all streams will be named. Like this one, for example, does already deserve a name. Yeah, mustn't forget to update during the 1 hour mark. I should probably see what actually changes in this version. I don't think this version changes anything. Well, it has to change something, but I don't think we know what it even changes. But I'm not sure about the next one. Let me see. Okay, the level previewer is fixed here, which doesn't really mean anything for us because we can't even use it. And the next version... Oh, the next one actually has quite a few things. Getting stuck inside blocks causes suffocation. Oh, this is the last version we can use the X-ray glitch. That's unfortunate. I really should have made use of that last time when I was mining. The player's hand now displays again. Yay. Awesome. Flowing water that touches flowing lava creates cobblestone. Okay. Ladders are no longer destroyed by water. Lava texture changed slightly. Obsidian generates. Yeah, just mostly liquid changes, it seems. Oh, world generation. Made massive tweaks to the pending tile tick logic used for liquids and fire, quite possibly fixing a crash bug. Remove the infinite lava sea from under the world. I guess it replaces it with... Oh, no, it doesn't. It's literally you just fall into the void. There's no bedrock yet. That's annoying. Surface springs. Okay. Actually, so I guess we should generate a little bit of new chunks, a little bit of terrain once we update, because there are surface springs. So we can actually have some naturally generating waterfalls. So I think I will actually take a break from this and go on a very short journey, like 10 minutes, just to see those. Caves are even more regional. Okay, yeah, so the next version also makes the caves basically worse because there's less of them. Springs, both water and lava are more common. Increase variety in tunnel thickness. Added natural gravel and dirt underground for more varied caves. Okay, yeah, we're definitely gonna generate new chunks next time. In 10 minutes here, actually. Holy crap. Oh, and the ore generation is also nerfed. So basically, diamond ore veins are now gonna be small. Oh, that sucks. Okay. So I guess I'll keep my mining operations in these chunks then. That's good to know. No point in moving to new chunks for that. Also, is this important? Okay, I already know about that, so no. Come on, dude. Close the freaking window. There we go. Okay, I'm back. Maybe we can pick a book. Oh, I already read that. Secretly Mining Crypto. Hello, Matty Polar Bear. Welcome to the stream. If the update. Yes. Alright, in 10 minutes it's update time, and I'm gonna... I think I'll go in that direction. I think, if I recall correctly, that's the direction I go for whenever there's like small changes. And that is the direction where I go for big changes to the terrain. So I think what happens with the ore generation is that the ores are made more abundant, but smaller depending on the tier. So coal veins are pretty much the same as they are here. Iron veins are a bit smaller, and gold and diamond are the smallest. I think that's the ore change. But they are more frequent overall. So who knows, maybe it might be better to actually do mining in new chunks. Kind of hard to determine that. I actually saw this channel before. It is possible. Thank you for the subscription. I personally don't really mind, so... I was gonna say care, but that sounds rude. I personally don't mind if people don't watch these or subscribe. I'm just doing them for fun. I'm not monetized, so it doesn't matter to me. Have an idea for a build? Okay, shoot. I might consider it if it's anything that fits. You are tsundere. Yep. Am I seriously gonna spend the entire stream just clearing out one of the mountains? I was hoping to clear out both of them. Sheesh. Like a castle. That's literally what I'm working on right now, dude. But I first need to clear out all of this. Otherwise, it's gonna hit the height limit. I really wish I had coordinates, but that won't be added until... Alpha 1.2, I think? It's either Alpha 1.2 or Beta 1.0 or 1.1 or something like that. But I'm pretty sure it's Alpha 1.2 that adds coordinates. to the debug screen. Also, sheep. Hello, I haven't seen you guys in a while. I need your cloth. Thank you. In fact, I'm just gonna kill you with my sword so you don't take up space here. Clearing out a small portion of land for my house. Clearing out a big portion of land for my majestic castle. That I still don't know what to name, or how to name. Cathedral is also planned. I should write that down, though. A cathedral or church makes perfect sense in a medieval-style village to have. Send you a link for it just in case. If I just know about Voima, yes. Yes, isn't that the bear game? It's like a new voxel game where you play as a bear for some reason. Is that the one? I have seen it, if that's the case. There's quite a few like voxel games that are coming out these days. There's yeah, that's the one. Okay, so there's Voima, there's Alumeria. That's one that I'm actually keeping track of, because that one looks really cool. There's also Vintage Story, of course. There's Hytale. There's like a lot of options now. A lot of potential contenders to competitors to Minecraft. So that's definitely very nice and refreshing to see. I don't really consider Terraria to be a competitor to Minecraft, by the way, because it's just so different. Not just in terms of like the perspective being 2D, but in general, the gameplay. It's less about sandbox and building and more about like adventuring and killing bosses and getting gear and stuff. It's more like an RPG, or plays more like an RPG. Which is weird because I don't like Terraria all that much. Like you would think that that would be the perfect game for me, but I don't. Like I love the old versions, but the new ones are just, they have so much content that it's difficult to keep track of everything. To me, Terraria has the exact opposite problem of Minecraft currently, where the updates are way too big. There's way too much content in them. Cathedral of Mexico. I mean, there's plenty of cathedrals in Mexico. Which one in particular are you referring to? I don't know why, but your streams don't work on my PC for some reason. That's odd. Hello, Jasmine. Welcome back. Could be a connection issue, maybe. I don't know. Like, if you're watching this from your phone using, like, mobile data, then it's probably something to do with your, like, home Wi-Fi. Maybe it's just weaker. Or maybe something's wrong with your Ethernet cable on your computer. Or Wi-Fi card if you're using Wi-Fi. The one in the city of Mexico. Again, the city of Mexico is massive. It has many cathedrals. You need to be more specific. Like, what's the actual cathedral called? Unless it's literally just the Cathedral of Mexico. If you're chipping the mountain down, why not just use TNT? TNT is not very efficient. And I'm saving my gunpowder for firework rockets. Because I refuse to make a mob farm. Okay, I straight up refuse. And I only have 23 gunpowder. So it would only be enough for like 3 blocks of TNT, I think. Or 4 actually, yeah, because it's 5 per block. So 4 blocks of TNT would barely do anything to this mountain. And I'm saving the gunpowder for the far future when I can make firework rockets. I'm using Wi-Fi, though, and other streams work. Probably an ad block issue. I don't know if it's an ad block issue, because I'm not even monetized. By the way, do you guys get ads on these streams? Because if you do, I'm gonna turn them off. I thought I turned them off, but if you do get ads, let me know. And I'll make sure to turn them off, because the money doesn't go to me, and I don't want it to go to YouTube. Cathedral Metropolitana, okay. I mean, keep in mind, by the way, that I don't do massive builds. So if it's like a massive cathedral, and I assume that it is, I'm not gonna build it. But I could take inspiration from it. Like, build a smaller copy or something. MoTMC is working much better than Prism. Interesting. I usually hear the opposite. I hear that Prism is like the end-all launchers and all that stuff. I think it's all just a big circle jerk, honestly. Because all I see in Prism is MoTMC that still has support for the Curse mod packs. That's literally it. Like, yeah, sure, it probably has other differences, but they're like so small and insignificant to me that I just don't care. I can easily transfer all my instances to from MoTMC to Prism, but I just don't care enough to do that. Okay, I need another double chest, actually, is what I need. I wish I had shift clicking. Second double chest of dirt. Amazing. Oh, and also while I'm here, let me make 2 more shovels. I'm literally gonna spend all my diamonds on shovels. But if I make iron once, I literally have to come back here every 2 minutes. Oh, it's almost time to upgrade. Let me store the dirt and I'm gonna upgrade. Can't even shift click these. This is so sad. F's in chat for shift clicking. Alright, let me update. Guess I'm 1 minute early, but whatever. Doesn't have to be on the clock. I do have to transfer my world though, and this is gonna take a while, so be warned. You're gonna stare at this amazing black screen for like a couple minutes. Apologize for that. I really need to like set up some sort of a "I'll be back soon" screen or something like that, but I'm not very competent. I'm not a competent streamer. I hope you're not here for quality. Because again, I do this for fun. Prism Launcher crashes with InfDev Plus. Again, what's the crash? If you actually send me the crash, if you like post the crash on the public GitHub repo, then I can actually maybe help you out. Why do you avoid mob farms? I just think they're dumb, honestly. Like, they defeat the point of the game, in my opinion. Like, automation either shouldn't exist at all, or if it does exist, it shouldn't be as easy to make as it is in the base game nowadays. Whoa, that really was way quicker. Holy crap. Also, why does it default to fast graphics every time? But yeah, I really don't like mob farms. They really just defeat the whole purpose of killing mobs. The whole point of killing mobs. I shouldn't explode this cave, I should generate new chunks. Let's go on a very short adventure, boys and girls. And everything in between. I ain't got no ads. Okay, that's good. Cathedral is not medieval at all, though. And it is massive. Yeah, in that case, it ain't gonna happen. I'm sorry. I'm trying to go for a particular style with this. Medieval fantasy. Did the game crash? Whoa, that was a lag spike and a half. Okay, hold on. My cat wants to leave the room. Okay, sorry about that. Works better for modern, but it breaks InfDev Plus. Again, post the crash log that you get and I might be able to figure something out. Lonio builds. I'm really excited for the beta area because I'm gonna build something I've never built in the game before. Brutalist architecture, communist style city or something like that, like commie blocks basically. It's gotta be simple, something I can handle, and something I haven't done. Like a gif of SpongeBob or something. It freezes, okay. That's something different then. If it freezes, again, how much RAM do you allocate to the game? Because if it freezes, it might be related to the memory leak. Make sure you have at least 3 gigabytes allocated. If you can spare more, the more the better. Again, I apologize for the inconvenience. I've been trying to figure this stuff out for a while, and it's just sentient mod is all I can say. Also, we don't have boats yet, so I have to literally swim. Sucks. Now, that's a name we haven't heard in ages. Oh my god, don't remind me. Brutalism looks sick in Old MC. Yeah, it feels like Old MC was made for brutalism. Hello, Jonas. Welcome back to the stream. London Bridge? Maybe, but where would I put it? Like, it needs to make sense. I need to put it somewhere. I think everyone in Russia has built at least one brutal city in beta. I wonder if Russians even like their brutalist architecture. They probably do because of government propaganda, but like genuine question. Or genuine thought. I don't know if there's any Russians in chat right now that could provide the answer. Towers of Bologna. I told him which amounts to use and stuff and still froze. Okay, then in that case, I'm not sure then. That is very strange. Because I think I have seen other people use Prism to launch InfDev Plus and they haven't really had any complaints, so... It's very odd. And because it freezes, I can't really do anything. Like, if it was a crash log, I could actually determine what's going on. But if it's just freezing, then, yeah, that's hard to determine. At least it works in the MultiMC. I'm glad that it does. Towers of Bologna would be easy to build. They're basically just very tall boxes and medieval. I could build those then. We'll see. At first, like, I'm only gonna build stuff like that if I have nothing left to build, you know? I think I have enough stuff that I want to build that it's gonna keep me occupied for quite a while. Yeah, I don't know how many chunks I should generate. That's a big cave. Holy crap. Okay, that's probably good enough. I did see one spring, one waterfall. That's good. We're gonna get a lot more waterfalls pretty soon, because we have to, like, generate new chunks for dungeons and then also for redstone once that gets added. So I don't want to go overboard with this. Yeah, this is another nice area. I really love the terrain in InfDev and Alpha. It's so nice. Older than the London Bridge. Interesting. I did not know that. In general, I'm just terrible with years. And dates. Like, I'm literally the type of guy to constantly forget when my dad's birthday is. Surprised I even remember my own birthday. What an epic adventure that was. I'm so glad we went on this adventure together, everyone. I would like to thank my mom, my family, my friends, my loved ones, my cat, and my university teacher. Biome was the default biome again in InfDev Plus. If by default you mean the one that, like, replaces all other biomes that you turn off, then it's literally called biome default. It's the Vanilla Hills biome. I graduated over half a year ago, IDIAC. I'm now working a full-time job, 9 to 5. I got my bachelor degree and I just skedaddled out of there. I was considering a master's, but that would be way too expensive. I don't know if it's worth it. Especially considering I barely survived the bachelor, so... Not at all. It's like the only way in which my job is related to my bachelor is that both of them are computer science, technically, like technology. But I studied creative media and game design, and I'm working in the localization industry. So, yeah, it's basically... has almost nothing to do with it. The most that I do in my job that I studied is programming. And I only do it occasionally, because it's not really my main... oh, this is the wrong mountain. It's not really my main... the main thing that I do in my job description is just something that I do as an extra. We basically have some automation scripts that I... and a QA too that I sometimes like improve. The QA too is hilariously written in Java. So yeah, that worked out for me. But that's not my main job. My main job is localization. Should implement a way to spawn in different... Oh, to spawn in different textures. Nah. No. Maybe with a command? Actually, yeah. I can do it with a command, but definitely not with spawn eggs. Those just spawn a random variant. Otherwise, I would need like 1 billion spawn eggs. I don't want to do that. But I could extend the command. That's actually a good idea, Redbot. So I think I will do that. Can just make it have an optional second parameter that is just the variant. And also a count. I don't think you can actually spawn multiple entities of a count. That's something I'm gonna do after this stream, and I'm gonna release a patch. The patch also balances the Sword of Maiko. So it always deals 8 damage now, so it's basically a diamond sword that you can't enchant. Because before it used to deal like a crap ton of damage if it was the more durability that it had. It was way too overpowered, so I'm gonna nerf it. It's still gonna have the repairing itself for each kill that you perform, and also the dodging mechanic. It just won't have the damage boost. Also, unless there's an emergency, tonight's patch is gonna be the last patch for a good while, because I'll be cleaning up the entities, just so you know. So that's gonna take at least a month, if not more, because those classes are a mess. There's so much boilerplate in there. Not to mention that it's about time I migrate all of the entity AI to the quote-unquote new system, which is basically... I don't know if it's the modern system, I don't know if they changed it again, probably not. But it's the same system that was introduced in 1.2, but so far only zombies and skeletons use it, pretty much. So I want to convert all of the mobs to use the new system. So that's gonna be a lot of work. It's gonna take a lot of time. But once it's done, the next update will actually have much better entity AI, entity behaviors, and maybe some other tweaks to like entity drops and stuff. Oh, and I'm also planning to add creeper variants. Elemental creepers, pretty much, but they're actually gonna be fun, unlike the classic mod, or the beta mod that literally has like a creeper exploding and just placing random dirt everywhere. That's annoying. No, the creepers are actually going to create the different types of explosion that the mod has. So there's gonna be a wind creeper that creates an explosion that just pushes you away. There's gonna be one that creates a fire explosion. There's gonna be one that creates an ice explosion that instead of blowing up blocks, it's going to damage everything in the radius and freeze it. Because recently I did a patch where frost arrows don't freeze you anymore, they only slow you down. But I still have the freeze effect in the code, and it's still applied to mobs that you shoot with the freeze arrow. But yeah, the frost creeper is gonna be the new way that the player will get frozen. Because I think that's a lot more fair, because it only happens once, and then the creeper is dead. Whereas the skeletons were really annoying, because they just kept spamming you with arrows. That was honestly a really terrible design choice, I will admit. Oh, look, my hand! Yay! Finally, I can see my hand. Still no front-facing camera, though. Oh, and the hand is still funny. Crap. City is literally what I'm gonna be working on, Matt. Also, the new creeper variants, I should add, they will only spawn in specific climates. So the fire creeper will only spawn in... Wait, there's one extra arrow. Get out of here. The fire creeper will only spawn in hot biomes. The ice creeper only in cold biomes. The air creeper, I honestly don't know where that one's gonna spawn. Oh, and there's also gonna be a some type of a poison creeper. Although we already have green creeper, so I don't know what color it would have. But a creeper that leaves behind the poison cloud, basically, that poisons you. Because it's kind of weird that creepers are the only mob that doesn't really have variants. Pretty much every other mob has, at the very least, cosmetic variants, like the ogres, for example. But some of them, like the skeletons, even have like kind of like modern, like skeletons that shoot elemental arrows. So that's coming to creepers as well. I think it might be fun. Can't wait for numbered versions. Oh, you're making a city. Oh, sorry, I misread, Matt. You're making a city, yeah. Can't wait for numbered versions. Lingering potion of poison explosion. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, let's keep going. I hope I can at least carve out this one mountain here. Honestly, I think... Like, originally I was planning to build a big castle that has, like, 2 complexes, basically. There's gonna be an area here and an area there. But now I'm thinking I might just build the castle here and put something else here. Like, maybe a big tower, like an Eye of Sauron type of thing or something. I don't know. I definitely want to build a lighthouse, but that's going to be down there somewhere. That makes more sense. Like, I think right over there in that peninsula. I think that's a peninsula. Probably going to be a good place for a lighthouse. And the dock is going to go there. What's up? Oddly specific year to set your city in. I was not expecting to literally use up all my diamonds doing this. I guess the durability still sucks, even though it's better. Imagine if it was still 256, oh my god. Well, on the bright side, I'm definitely not gonna have a shortage of cobblestone for this build, so that's good. I still don't know what I'm gonna do with all the dirt, though. I highly doubt I will need all of this for terraforming. If anything, I'm gonna get even more dirt from flattening more areas out down there, so... yeah, that's gonna be a bit of a problem. I could just pull a Zelanator and just build a massive dirt pyramid. That's something I could always do. That sheep literally spawned right in front of me. Did you see that? God, the mob spawner is still very weird and jank. I wonder when it gets improved, because I don't remember it being this bad in alpha. So maybe sometime in like mid-alpha, I would say. Probably. Pyramid in Mexico that's made out of dirt. Wonder if there's a brick pyramid in real life somewhere. Like literally just red bricks. That's something I would honestly do if I ever became a millionaire or billionaire. I would just commission the building of a freaking brick pyramid from InfDev somewhere. I don't even care where it is as long as it exists. Just use regular old red bricks to make a giant pyramid. What is gonna be its purpose? I don't know. That really depends on the country that agrees to build the pyramid in their territory. I just want the pyramid. They can do whatever they want with it. They can turn it into a recreational center for all I care. Preferably if it's something good, you know, something to benefit the locals. So it's not just a funny tourist destination. That'll be for the best. Right. Second chest of dirt. Sheesh. While I'm up here, I might as well... actually, no, I already have one shovel. I'm gonna need another pickaxe, though. Let me get that. While I'm up here. So much for diamond armor. I think we are gonna make good timing, though. I think I can probably clear out 3 more layers before I have to end it off, and that's probably good enough for the castle grounds. You really like Mexican Bologna, don't you? I learned something shocking recently. I have a Italian friend, and I learned from her that bolognese, what we usually call like the spaghetti bolognese, isn't even a thing in Italy. Like, it's called like this everywhere else, basically, because it comes from Bologna, but the actual like name for the sauce, for the spaghetti, is ragu. I did not know that. It was very awkward, because she was really disappointed. Yeah. Because I was like messaging her, yo, I'm making spaghetti bolognese for the first time. And she's like, first of all, that's not bolognese. That's ragu. Second of all, it looks good. Because I was asking her for like tips, because it was my first time making like the bolognese sauce. It ended up being very bland. Like, it looked good, but it didn't taste good. It was bland as hell. Chief. I think you mean chef method, but yes. I was living alone for the entirety of the summer, by the way, and I'm gonna be living alone again starting next year. So I was experimenting with cooking, basically. I only really cook on weekends anyway, because that's the only time I actually have time to, you know, sit down and actually cook for like 2 hours. But it's still nice to do, because it's, even though I find it incredibly frustrating because I'm really impatient and stuff, it's still good to cook for yourself because it saves on money and yeah, really saves on money pretty much. And also it can be healthier as well, depending on what you cook, of course. I have a speedrun method for the end in IFTF Plus. Interesting. Alternate version of Mexico. Are you from Mexico, perchance? Because you seem to know a lot about Mexico. Let's make a portal out right after going in. That won't work. Red bot, that won't work at all, because you still need to defeat the boss to see the credits. I made sure of that. Whenever you enter a portal in the void, it always checks if you have unlocked the achievement that you get for beating the boss. So if you don't have it unlocked, it won't play the credits. It won't count as, you know, you beating the game. So your plan won't work. Yes, I am sure. Unless you tested it and that's not the case, in which case that's a bug and I have to fix it. But I'm pretty sure it won't. It will just teleport you. You are from Mexico, okay, that makes sense. Mexican, but you know English. English is a useful language to know, undeniably. It's basically the universal language. You can thank the Brits for colonizing the world pretty much for that. Hola, hermano. Adios, amigo. I literally don't know anything in Spanish. I got so much crap. Why are you apologizing? I'm gonna need another double chest for the cobblestone by this point. Because now I'm at the point where I'm getting more cobblestone than dirt. Oh my god, we only have half an hour left. Can I actually make the last 3 layers? I really hope I can. Turn on a feature that lets you choose the spawn coordinate of a world before creation. Oh, you should turn on a feature. I don't know, I feel like that doesn't really make a lot of sense, because you don't know where you're gonna spawn, unless you already know the seed. Fun fact, the spawn coordinate is always 0, 0 in finite worlds, because it had problems with finding a spawn otherwise. It would try to find one out of bounds, and I was just too lazy to fix it, so I hard-coded it to always be at 0, 0. I will fix that eventually, I'm just lazy about it. I don't know, I feel like that's a pointless option. I just need to improve the spawning, the spawn finder in general, because It's supposed to always spawn you in a beach biome, but I have seen it sometimes spawn you in water, even though you're very close to a beach. Like an actual beach, not the shore, which is a separate biome. So clearly it's broken, and I'm not sure why. But my like reasoning behind it is that you're supposed to feel like you've like crashed on the island or whatever. That's why you spawn on a beach biome. And it's also a low-key nod to how you would always spawn on sand in these InfDev and alpha versions. I am correct, yes, I know my mod. If that was broken, I would be surprised. Oh no, what glitch. And there's endless bugs with this. I really regret rushing it out the door the way I did. But then again, if I didn't, then it would literally never be out. TNT is inside of the respawn place. You will respawn the T... What do you mean? I don't understand what you mean by that. Oh, you will respawn in the TNT? Wait, you mean like if you have it triggered or something? If that's the case, that's not really a bug, it's an intended feature. Because it saves the entities on the other side and it just keeps them there. So that is intentional. It's just how the game works. I'm in a flat world. When I come back from the portal, I spawn inside the TNT blocks. Oh. Where are the TNT blocks? Are they directly beneath the portal? InfDev Plus 0.2 is literally InfDev Plus Lite. Like, it's pretty much a vanilla InfDev with a few extra things. That's what people would expect from InfDev Plus, and then it sort of became just an alternative version of modern Minecraft. .000, interesting. I will take a look at that later. Yeah, I get it now. I'll take a look at that later. Thanks for reporting. You actually always spawn... okay, so here's how the thing works. When you leave the void, you always get taken back to your spawn point. Either your bed, if you have one, or your world spawn, if you don't have a bed. And the world spawn in the flat worlds is always 0, 0. Because it's all flat anyway, so it doesn't really matter where you spawn. So it's always 0, 0 for that world type. So you always get brought back to 0, 0 in this case. But if you spawn inside of blocks instead of on top of them, then the check for is there a solid block here is probably broken. If you just spawn inside the tower that you build, that's normal. If you spawn inside of literally the block suffocating, as you said, then that's not. Is on top of 0, 0 you spawn. Okay, I get it now. Yeah, okay, that is an actual glitch then. Yeah, I'll take a look at that later. Oh, for fuck's sake. Ugh. I think once I run out of diamonds and once I'm done clearing this out, I'm gonna have to go caving again. Yeah, like next time, at least half the stream I'll spend caving once again and making a mine shaft. times like these, I wish I had offhanding like I do in IfDev Plus, because I could just put the shovel in my... Oh, pressed F. I could put the shovel in my offhand and then just use both of them at the same time. So hold down left click to dig with the pickaxe and hold down right click to dig with the shovel. I wouldn't have to keep switching the tools over and over again. Like that's such a useful feature. I'm surprised that modern Minecraft doesn't support it. Because the offhand is cool and all, but it could be so much better. I still remember that experimental offhand that I had back in the early days where it would like use the offhand item if you were sneaking or something. It was very weird. And then I remembered, oh, you literally have to press F to swap the items. I should just do that. Makes a whole lot more sense. Butter buckets. I see those trees in the distance, how the trunk just ends where the leaves are. That's hilarious. Hilarious but annoying. Did I bring any saplings? Oh, I guess I can always get saplings, but... Because I don't think... Does that affect, like, trees growing from saplings as well? Because if it does, that's going to be super annoying. And I would assume that it does, because it just uses the same, like, tree generator. It's not like... I think it's... I don't remember if InDev is like this, but Classic is definitely like this. For some reason, it has two separate tree generators. One is for generating a tree from a sapling on the spot, and the other is for placing trees in the world. Those are different for some reason. I don't remember if InDev is like that. I think it is as well. But in IfDev, I'm pretty sure it's been merged, which makes a lot more sense. Hello, Rai. Welcome back to the stream. I've literally been doing this for the past 2 hours, right? Exciting content right here. InDev Plus is succeeding and the world is healing. I saw the Alco video, yes. I haven't seen the video itself, I just saw that he posted it. Yeah, I think I'll start putting the cobblestone here, because I'm getting mostly cobblestone now. And I should also make a couple more pickaxes. I've discovered another glitch which is way too hard to explain, so I'll take a video in the Discord. Oh god. How do you discover all these, man? But please stop. Have mercy. You know what, let's just... No, I only have 6 diamonds left. I should be more careful with using them. I was gonna say, let's just make 4 pickaxes instead, but... Let me free up some inventory space here. There we go. Early Classic Plus is an interesting mod because that one is not made by me. That one is made by Mr. Lord Sith, good friend of mine, and it's basically what it sounds like. I think it was based off either 14A or 13A. And it adds a whole bunch of stuff to it, like a lot. It's almost feels like a Legacy Plus mod. It adds survival, a lot of stuff from InDev, like tools and crafting and stuff. Multiplayer, I'm pretty sure it adds, because all of Sith's mods add multiplayer. It's quite interesting. I recommend you check it out. What about Caden? What happened? Oh yeah, Caden. I recently like looked him up because I was curious how his case is going. The allegations, like the fuck, what's the word I'm looking for? The fire charges. The word escaped me, but basically the charges are confirmed, and he could be facing up to 40 years in prison. So, maybe, just maybe, InfDev Plus multiplayer might be finished by the time he's out of jail. Maybe. We'll see. It's a race against time at this point. Arson, yes, thank you, arson. Can't believe I forgot the word for that. I'm really tired. Arson, yeah, the arson charges have gone through, have been confirmed, so he could be facing up to 40 years. It's still not certain. I think his final trial, like the final punishment, will be decided in March of next year. Which is crazy, because that's like over a year since the initial crime was committed. Also, I think I will just make a bunch of iron shovels here, because there's a lot less dirt to worry about. So yeah, I will just make 2 more pickaxes. I'm gonna need a lot more pickaxes than shovels right now. But yeah, that's hilarious. The guy who was calling me unstable for just deleting the old Discord is literally gonna be in jail for more than half his life, probably. Okay, let's make 3 iron shovels and 2 more of these. Just put them here for now, because I don't want them using up space. In fact, I'll put this one here as well. We only have 20 minutes left. I really hope I can do at least 2 more layers within 20 minutes. I probably can, but it's gonna be tight. Hopefully he can play InfDev Plus in prison. I highly doubt he will. We should hop on a call and watch it together, Method. Yes, we should. It would be hilarious. I'm grabbing the popcorn. I really shouldn't be so happy about someone else's misfortune, but I mean, come on, it's just so funny. Like, he did it over the TikTok ban, which barely even lasted a day. If he just waited a day, he would have been like, oh. I swear, the TikTok is like the worst thing to happen to humanity in recent times. Like making liminal spaces in old Minecraft. I remember I started doing like the back rooms and the basement of my Polyworld. That was fun. Although that never really got anywhere. It was ended up being only like a couple of corridors. Who's in jail for what? Okay, so Yosuke, there was this guy, Caden, who played my mods. Well, one of my mods, InfDev Plus. He played InfDev Plus religiously. He like made videos on it and everything. In January of last year, was it this year? I think it was this year. In January of this year, he committed arson by setting up like a congressman's office on fire over the ban of TikTok, which only lasted a day. And he was caught, obviously, and now he could be facing up to 40 years in prison for doing something incredibly stupid. Because it was not only arson, but also targeted at a government figure. Like, you can't even make this up. Got a stomach bug in American Thanksgiving. Isn't the Canadian Thanksgiving in, like, October? But I thought InfDev Plus fire spread was real. He's so true. That was a good one. What did that guy do? I would explain that. Your mom. What the hell? I join and first thing I hear is someone's office being burned down by a criminal. Hello, Real Flaw. Welcome to the stream. We were just discussing this one guy who played my mod on YouTube, and he's now like an arsonist. He's facing up to 40 years in prison. Like, the circumstances are just so hilarious. I am correct, yes. The TikTok ban didn't even last that long. I don't think it even lasted a day. It didn't even last like a full 24 hours. That's what makes it even funnier. If there plus fire spread. Canada's best country. Press X to doubt. It's mid, it's definitely not bad. Oh, you're Canadian too, Redbot? I didn't know that. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about Canada, because my parents were there and they weren't really impressed. Like, it has great nature, but... It's very close to America in terms of, like, culture and stuff. Like, way too close. Like, you guys also rely a lot on cars and whatnot, which I really don't like. I don't know how to feel about that. I like it here in Europe. Even though there's the constant threat of Russia, it's still... Europe is Europe. Like, we have customer rights, we have workers' rights. We have this amazing thing, by the way, it's called sidewalks, where you don't need a car to go anywhere. You can literally go anywhere on foot or by bike or whatever. It's amazing. Just living life on easy mode. TikTok and short form content in general is a plague, yes. It's making people dumber and dumber. And now AI as well is also making people dumb. If Putin didn't lead Russia, the world would 1000% be better, yep. Buy a week's worth of food for 20 bucks. I can buy more than a week's worth of food for 20 bucks here, but then again, we get paid less as well, so... That doesn't really mean anything. Meanwhile, I'm working on my own random project. 3D printed 70mm RC EGF 6 fan blades. Interesting. I should probably invest in a 3D printer, honestly. It sounds quite useful. Because one of my coworkers has a 3D printer and he says that it's like... He printed like a freaking spice rack with that thing. He says that it's so cool. But, like, I don't know how sturdy 3D printed stuff are. Like, I don't know if it's... Because I've always seen it as just a gimmick, honestly. I don't know if it's that practical in, like, the real world. Okay, so I think what I want to do is I want to clear out this layer and also this layer. So I'm going to do the very last layer off stream, probably, off camera. Most likely tomorrow. Just so that we can actually start building the castle. Or at least the main castle grounds next time. We live in a world where walkable infrastructure is more of a luxury than personal transport. It depends on where you live, Yoski, because in Europe that's not really a problem, but in America it is. I don't know if that's also the case where you live. We cook the next generation to the point they make Gen Alpha look like Einstein. Oh my god, dude. Don't even get me started on Gen Alpha and Gen Beta. Made some amazing things with 3D printing. Yeah, like 3D printing is cool, but it's kind of like VR. I still see it as a gimmick, but maybe actually having a 3D printer would change my mind, because I also view VR as a gimmick, but I don't have a VR headset. I'm planning to buy the Steam Frame once it comes out next year, and maybe that'll change my mind. Who knows? But as it stands, I just see it as a gimmick. So I'm not sure if it's worth investing in a 3D printer. I don't think the printer itself is even that expensive. I think it's more so the stuff that you use to print the stuff with. I don't even know what it's called. It's not ink like regular printers, it's something else. Local pizza shop, interesting. Improve my sleep by printing some extension riser feet to raise the head up, clear my acid reflux. That sounds useful. Made a 3D printed zip tie that's comparable in strength to a store-bought zip tie and for a comparable cost in filament too. Yeah, filament is what you use, yeah. Interesting. I guess it also depends on the filament that you use and maybe even the 3D printer itself. If you want to make like really sturdy things that are actually useful, then you probably need like a really expensive either filament or printer or maybe even both. I would assume that the cheaper ones, especially from China, are not that great. I don't think we should necessarily stop AI, but we should definitely, like, keep an eye on it and limit it. And because, like, AI can be useful too if you know how to use it properly. The problem is that most people don't know how to use it properly. They just use it as an excuse to be lazy. They don't use it to improve their research or whatever. They just use it to be lazy. And also, AI still has the problem with hallucinating a lot. If that gets tackled and people get educated, which the latter is honestly less likely to happen than hallucination being eliminated, then AI could actually be quite helpful. Like, I don't think AI is as stupid and evil as NFTs were. NFTs literally brought nothing to the table, and even like cryptocurrencies and stuff. AI does have some practical implications. It could have a practical purpose, practical use. But the problem is that we have to rely on these greedy mega corporations to handle AI for us, which you know how that will go. They will just use it to save on costs, basically, and be lazy. So the problem isn't even necessarily AI itself. The problem is the people that are using AI. Tons of repair parts, oh wow. Sounds like you're trying to advertise me a 3D printer, my guy. Like, I'm not fully against getting one, but I really have to look at the pricing. I haven't even thought about getting a 3D printer before. I'm definitely prioritizing the Steam frame, though. Next year I have to get a Steam frame on a new phone, so it definitely won't be next year. But I might get a 3D printer eventually. Okay, Canada, you hate everything. I don't hate Canada, I just don't really want to visit Canada. Caden TMG. I've also 3D printed a rechargeable battery enclosure. Oh, enclosure only, okay. Put a custom battery from scratch. Nice. I can't live without them. I also agree with Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders should have been president. What the hell is America doing? Companies should get a much bigger taxes in general. Like, the bigger the company and the bigger the revenue, the bigger the tax should be. And all that money should go to people in need. It's that simple, but sadly, that's not how the real world works. Five-digit... Well, a fire like 5 digits worth of people over slob content made in 10 seconds sounds like an ideal world. So true. Sounds like the ideal world to the billionaires, that's for sure. Billionaires don't care about consequences, sadly, Heidiak. Yes, that is one of the biggest dangers of AI, Jonas, for sure. Using AI to generate propaganda. And of course, you know that countries like Russia will make absolute use of that. I have no doubt that AI is also used in Russian propaganda, IDIAC. It's only gonna get worse. Costs come down from thousands of dollars to 100 for a budget one. Might even be able to find some for less than 100. Yeah, but I presume those are like the crappy Chinese knockoffs that probably don't work as well. Some studies already say AI lies and does some unethical stuff to not get shut down or to look better. Oh, I don't know about unethical stuff, but yeah, like AI hallucinates. That's the main issue with it. It could give you like a lot of bullshit information that it just makes up. So yeah, I guess, yeah, hallucinating is basically lying, but yeah. And that's purely because that's how it's designed and programmed. It's designed to always give some answer, even if it's incorrect. Because if it just doesn't give an answer at all, if it just says like Murrow, if it just says I don't know, that's like against its own programming. Which is, in my opinion, the biggest mistake. Like, I'm not an AI engineer at all by any stretch of the imagination, but couldn't they have just made it so that it can actually admit that it doesn't have an answer for once? I don't know. You are a billion, your revenue should be taxed 100%. Yeah, there should be a 100% tax. Not even need to increase taxes for corporations, you just need to tax them, period. They avoid taxes altogether. Yeah, that's a whole other, like, problem. Don't you get worse before it gets better, but I think America might make the EU a superpower by accident, but by forcing the EU together. If anything, Russia is trying to avoid that, and it's somewhat working, at least in some countries. Like my country of origin, for example. So that, I think you're way too optimistic, Rai. If anything, because I live in the EU, so I would know best. If anything, I'm worried about the future of the EU. And I need another chest, again. Those tax loopholes, tutorial how to make a house. Step 1, make a house. Not trying to advertise 3D printing, but just sharing my experience. It's a lot of fun, and can give me convenience. Easy to make replacement to repair parts too. A lot of fun modeling. Yeah, I don't doubt that you aren't advertising it. I just find it funny that you came into like a random InfDev stream and you're just like, oh my god, 3D printing is so good, man. I'm not saying that I mind it or anything. I'm just finding it amusing. So I'm just gonna throw this away for now. Recently, Eurosceptics are 100% paid by the Russian government. Not all of them, sadly. Yeah, like a good chunk definitely are, but not all of them. That's the worrying part. Like, my aunt is a Eurosceptic, and she's not paid by Russia, to my knowledge. She has just gone insane. I recently went to see if it really says I don't know that much, but it either said I don't know, I can't help you with something else. I'm like, related. Surprisingly, Mo was able to answer some stuff. Yeah, they did improve Mo, actually. I saw a video from Phoenix SC, and they have actually improved Mo. So that's good. Took them long enough. Eurosceptic politicians. Well, yeah, those, yeah. I thought you meant, like, literally everyone. Oh, crap. Russia is really good at producing propaganda, I gotta say. I wouldn't be so sure. They're really good at brainwashing their own people, but that's because their own people are already drunk half the time. So, that's not really saying much. I'd like to share what I'm working on, like projects and stuff. That's fair, yeah. Again, I'm not saying that I dislike you talking about it. I just found it amusing. Russian propaganda and some EU problems is really benefiting for right parties like AFG in Germany. Yeah, it is scary though. Those far-right parties are really scary. Didn't AFG have like some Nazi ties? Like all the way back to like Nazis? Bottom 20 countries I'd visit. For me, it's like the last, or at least one of the last countries I would ever visit. Bottom 10 for me. Not even bottom 20. That being said, I do want to visit 2 places in Russia. I want to visit the Kremlin. Because I just love the architecture. It's freaking beautiful. Like, I know that all the evil comes from there, but holy fuck, the Kremlin actually looks beautiful, architecturally speaking. I want to see Lenin's mausoleum. That would be interesting. And also St. Petersburg. St. Petersburg is undeniably a beautiful city. The problem is I probably won't be able to see any of those during my lifetime because of just how Russia is. Problem is that many new fascists realize that there's a large systemic issue, but they just blame it on the Jews or the EU or whatever boogeyman rather than the actual problems, yeah. And of course, Russia uses like the EU's problems to its advantage as well. It's bottom 1 for me. I don't know if it's bottom 1 because there are still things to see in Russia. I mean, there's technically things to see in any country, but as I said, there are a couple places that I would like to visit in Russia someday, if things ever improve, which is very unlikely to happen, at least in my lifetime. I would also love to visit Pripyat, for example, but that's another place that I probably won't be able to visit due to the ongoing war. The West has fallen! I haven't done much Minecraft in a while, but I did have a lot of fun with the new Proto Manly's Tornado mod a few weeks ago. I don't even know what that is, but I'm glad you had fun. North Korea is the last country I want to visit. You know what's funny, by the way, Rai? Wanna hear something really funny about North Korea? Also, I do know that we're going over time, but I really want to finish this layer at least before I end it off. So I guess we're going a little bit longer today. Crazy photographic tornado realism with that mod. I honestly don't know how to feel about the realism in Minecraft. I feel like it's cursed. Like, realistic water, realistic weather, I never really liked that sort of stuff. Unless you specifically make a mod pack and resource pack that specifically tries to make the game look and play as realistic as possible, then I don't like just throwing random mods that make like realistic things like tornadoes and then just have blocks float. Like, it feels wrong. Either go all out or don't go at all is my philosophy when it comes to Minecraft realism. On the theory that North Korea is a secret utopia. Funny, haha. Yeah, no, it's absolutely not a secret utopia. Combined with shaders, it gets quite eerie how realistic the tornado looks. I want to visit Ukraine. I want to visit Ukraine as well, but again, the war. I mostly want to visit Pripyat and maybe Kyiv. Got the end of the stream. Yes, you did. I usually stream from 7 to 9 PM Central European time every Saturday. Kind of. IDF, kind of. Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union, which is why Russia is so butthurt right now. Yeah, that's also true, right? Yeah. Because both Ukrainians and Russians are Slavs. Finish eating some pizza. My time I have to catch in about 2 hours ago, so like a little afternoon for me. Whoa. There's the speed bug. What's the funny thing? Okay, so the official ministry, like a Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Bulgaria, has like a page of all of the different countries and how safe they are to visit, right? So there's 5 levels. There's level 1, green, which is the safest. Level 2, which is yellow, which is visit with like some caution. Ironically enough, most of the Western European nations were yellow, probably because of all the migration. Then there's orange, level 3, which is visit and exercise like extreme caution, and like only visit areas that are proven to be safe or like permitted by the government or whatever. Then there's level 4, which is red, which is never visit unless absolutely necessary. And level 5, which is black, which is don't visit under any circumstances. Obviously, black countries are countries like Sudan or Ukraine, you know, that are in an ongoing war or whatever, or like Afghanistan is black. But guess what level North Korea is on this chart? Just try to guess which level. Level 1 through 5. Because I guarantee you're never gonna guess. Green. No, it's not green, thankfully. It's orange. Level 3, it's orange. And I also found out that apparently Bulgarians are the only EU citizens and one of the few Europeans that can actually visit North Korea without a visa. And actually stay there for about 30 or so days. Of course, North Korea does have its borders completely closed, so that's irrelevant right now, but if it didn't have closed borders, Bulgarians would be the only Europeans other than Russians and Belarusians who could actually visit North Korea without a visa, which is hilarious. Like, that just speaks volumes about the country. Apparently, they're best friends with North Korea. Might as well store this drink. You can never know when you're gonna need more drink. I'm also gonna eat the soup. Gonna need another pickaxe. Store the coal. Yeah, let's quickly finish this because I'm getting tired. I wanna end this stream. Venezuela, I don't remember Venezuela. I think Venezuela is either... I think Venezuela was orange, I don't know. No, Venezuela was red, I think. Russia, by the way, is also red. It's not black, it's red. What color is Canada? Canada was green. Canada and the US were green. Czechia was also green. I just find it hilarious that apparently they consider North Korea to be safer to visit than a lot of other countries. America should be red now. Well, it's still green. But again, that doesn't surprise me at all. No, we're talking about how safe countries are considered. On a scale of 1 to 5, green to red, by the the actual like government of Bulgaria. That's what we're discussing right now. Hilarious. Safety ranking. Trust me, guys, North Korea is safe. You should visit. This is 617-2, Jonas. Mexico was orange, I think. Either yellow... yeah, orange. Mexico was orange. Probably because of the, like, internal struggles like cartels and stuff. Mexico was orange. Most of the Latin America countries were either yellow or orange. I think Brazil was yellow. Argentina was also yellow, I think. Chile was yellow as well, even though I think Chile should probably be green, in my opinion. My brother went to Mexico, so true. I really want to visit Latin America someday, honestly. I don't really care which country, preferably Argentina. I find that one to be the most interesting, but any country will do. I do want to visit at some point. And I'm not just saying that because there's people from South America in the chat right now. I genuinely mean it. Chile still has the average LATAM struggles, but it's not as bad as the West. Yeah, I heard that. Argentina is overrated. Don't Brazilians and Argentinians hate each other or something like that? I can't really comment on that, Matt, because I've never been to Mexico. Quebec, of course. No. Canada is probably the only country in all of America that I don't want to visit. Mostly because my parents weren't that impressed with it. Like, even the nature, I could just go to the US for that. Not to mention that Canada is like a frozen wasteland half the time. It's kind of like the Russia of America. Climate-wise, okay? Climate-wise. Not politics-wise, not like culture-wise. Climate-wise, it's the Russia of the Americas. So no thanks. What color was Uruguay? I don't remember. Probably orange, I would guess. Either orange or yellow. Like, most of them were... I don't think there was a single red country. Maybe, like, only 1 or 2 red countries in South America. Most of them were either orange or yellow. There wasn't a single green one either, though, I think. We're gonna see Argentines as arrogant and wannabes. Interesting. Quebec technically fits in since they speak a Latin-derived language. Uruguay is sick. Chile is sick. Colombia is alright. Peru is well. Depends on where you go. Brazil is both really good and really bad. Depends on where you go. That could be a tour guide. I don't care, dude. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm gonna do this one layer here. This last layer off camera. Because I really just want to be done with this by the next stream. So yeah, next time we're going to... We're actually gonna do some mining next time. Because I want to get some more diamonds, hopefully. And also play around with the minecarts. So we probably won't be building the castle just yet. But we're gonna have plenty of time because we're gonna spend the entirety of Alpha, for the most part, in this area anyway. So there's no rush. And yeah, this was a bit of a longer stream, but hope you all enjoyed it. Say your goodbyes, because this is it. I guess I might as well wait for the sunrise. Argentina has the oldest subway in South America. Stereotype is real. Instinct they're Europeans or whatever. There's literal Europeans in South America. Like people in French Guiana actually have French citizenship, so they're literally European Union citizens, which is hilarious. They could go anywhere in Europe. But yeah, now that the sun is up. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.